Beef stew is the perfect recipe on a chilly night. But if it's a weeknight, you're not going to have time for it to simmer all day on the stove. But if you want juicy fall-apart beef and tender vegetables, you can have that if you make my Instant Pot beef stew. I'm Christy from Beneficial Bento, where I show you how to make healthy food more fun and help you manage your food allergies. And today we'll be making one of those home-cooked meals that reminds me of my childhood. Beef stew was one of my mom's specialties, and I decided to tweak her recipe to be a little bit lower in carbs and calories and much quicker to put together. An Instant Pot is the fastest solution to homemade goodness on a tight schedule. Here's what you'll need to make it. Turn the Instant Pot to the sauté setting. Add the oil. Then add the garlic and shallots. Cook and stir until slightly softened. Place beef cubes in a bowl. Sprinkle with the gluten-free flour and toss together to coat. Add beef to the Instant Pot. Cook and stir until the beef just barely starts to brown. Now add the celery, carrots, mushrooms, potato, salt, Worcestershire sauce, broth, and tomatoes. Turn off the sauté setting. Next, select the meat stew setting and choose 35 minutes. Make sure the pressure valve is set to sealing and not venting. After the Instant Pot has finished doing its job, it will beep. You can either flip the pressure valve to venting or just let the pressure come down on its own. It will even keep the beef stew warm for several hours if you need it to. Either way, when the steam stops coming out of the pressure valve when you tip it and the pressure gauge drops, then you can open the lid. At this point, it's ready to eat. But if you want the stew to be a little more browned and the sauce thickened some more, pour it into a baking dish and brown it in the oven on the broil setting. This may take between 5 to 15 minutes depending on how you like it. Serve it nice and hot. That's it for this recipe. So, what did we learn this time? Number 1, you can reduce the carbs in this recipe by replacing a portion of the potatoes with mushrooms. Number 2, this recipe doesn't have to be gluten-free. You can use any kind of flour as long as it contains enough starch so it will stick to the beef cubes. Number 3, you know what goes great with beef stew? Biscuits or cornbread. And if you're gluten-free, I can help you with that. Check out my free ebook, Gluten-Free Baking for Beginners, where you'll find recipes for the biscuits and the cornbread and flatbread, and 3 additional recipes for my gluten-free flour blends. You will find the link to that in the description, and I'll link the videos to those below as well. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen, and I will see you soon with another gluten-free video. Beef stew is the perfect recipe. Ah! Oh, the zucchini gets me every time. Look how enormous this zucchini is. It's like weighs 5 pounds. Oh, wow. It just landed in the cat's food dish and spilled food everywhere.